Because it's important. It's not. This is the moment of truth, and I can't sit by and allow this to happen.
Have you ever wondered where Robert De Niro's children with the black woman he married are today? Robert De Niro is an example of someone who could be described as a womanizer, and he sure has the looks of every lady's Prince Charming. To justify this, he has records of getting married to different women across different races, despite being born at a time when interracial marriage was unaccepted. However, the longest time he was with a woman was with Grace Hightower, an African, and they had 2 children together. Their relationship hit the rock, and they had to separate. What then was the fate of their children after that separation, and what do their lives look like today? Watch this video to the end, and your questions will be answered. Before we delve into their love story and unravel the current situation of their children, let's know who this man is. The American-based famous actor and award-winning producer, Robert Anthony De Niro Jr., the only child of Robert De Niro Sr. and Virginia Admiral, was born on the 17th of August, 1943, in the Manhattan borough of New York City, United States. Unfortunately, Robert could not enjoy the bliss that comes with an ideal family because his parents' relationship turned sour when he was barely 2 years old. He lived a greater part of his life not knowing why they separated, not until recently when he found out his father was gay. This sure had a significant toll on his emotional well-being. Robert De Niro had acknowledged the pain of his parents' divorce publicly, and he usually said he felt lost and confused as a child. Yet we could also tell he could use this to his advantage, as he most often described his father's absence as a void that influenced his work. With this, it could be deduced that Robert had a humble background. Nonetheless, his father was still involved in his life despite being raised by his mother. As a child, Robert would always go to his father's workshop due to its proximity to watch him paint. This sparked artistry in him as a passion, and not just that, he was incredibly fond of attending movies with his father, and he was especially taken with films starring the Swedish actress Greta Garbo, who he later said to be her mentor. His mother also played a significant role in his career success story. As part of his mother's compensation as a part-time typist and copy editor for Maria Picatore's dramatic workshop, De Niro was allowed to take children's acting classes for free and made his stage debut at 10, playing the Cowardly Lion in The Wizard of Oz. Robert wasn't a stark illiterate, though he struggled in traditional school settings and still had a basic academic qualification. Robert attended PS 41, a public elementary school in the Greenwich Village area of Manhattan, where he studied until the 6th grade. He later went to Elizabeth Irwin High School for the 7th and 8th grades. He went further into the High School of Music and Art for the 9th grade but attended for only a short time before transferring to a public junior high school, IS 71, Charles Evans Hughes Junior School. Why do you think the award-winning Robert struggled as a student? As he often said in his interviews, he was diagnosed with dyslexia. What's dyslexia? Someone might want to ask. Dyslexia is a learning disorder characterized by difficulties with reading, writing, and phonological awareness. This diagnosis made him feel less like an outsider among his peers. Still, instead of wallowing in self-pity, Robert must have channeled his energy into pursuing his passion for acting. In no time, he no longer found academics interesting. At 16, he dropped out of school to pursue acting because, according to him, performing was a way to relieve his shyness, the very thing the traditional academic setting could not do for him. His decision to leave the conventional school setting is a choice he would make repeatedly if given the opportunity. Though Robert did not have it all figured out immediately after he left school, he soon found his footing in the entertainment industry. Talking about this later, he said, "When I was 18, I was looking at a television show, and I said, if these actors are making a living at it, and they're not that good, I can't do any worse than them." Despite not having a college degree because he never attended college, Robert is considered one of his generation's greatest and most influential actors because he dared to stand out and pursue his passion. What began as a spark of passion eventually became a profession that spread like wildfire. Actor Robert De Niro is widely considered to be one of the greatest performers of his generation. He studied with Stella Adler and Lee Strasberg, and at age 20, he made his first movie with director Brian De Palma, The Wedding Party, which was not released until 1969. He has since appeared in more than 100 films, winning 2 Academy Awards, while earning the accolade of the finest actor of his generation. One distinguishing Robert from his contemporaries is his devotion to method acting and the in-depth research he brings to his roles. He is mostly known for his collaborations with Martin Scorsese. De Niro's ability to cope with adversity, even at that young phase, certainly built perseverance, eventually contributing to his success in the film industry. While Robert De Niro was busy carving his path and making steady progress, seeing him talk about love or consider getting married seemed nearly impossible. The only thing on his mind was his career success, which he continued building against all odds. However, unlike what many thought, Robert De Niro does have a love life. Maybe not exactly a fairy tale romance, but someone special captivated his heart. Keep watching as we unveil all the details of his love life and the relationship that led to marriage and subsequent fatherhood. Actors and actresses are often advised not to mix business with pleasure because falling in love while on set is often not a good idea. So, how did it go for Robert De Niro? Let's find out. One would have thought that as engrossed as he was with his career, he would live a boring social life, but one cannot be farther from the truth. De Niro is a father of 7 children, married to 2 women, and was in a relationship with 2 other women. Are you wondering how? It was easy for Robert to find love in the film industry as his life revolves around the sector. It was revealed that while on set during the making of The Taxi Driver, Robert met and fell in love with the actress Diane Abbott. Is she the ordinary black woman in Robert De Niro's life everyone is talking about? We'll soon find out. Diane Abbott is an American actress from New York City. She was born in 1943. Abbott debuted in the psychological thriller Taxi Driver with Robert, where she played an unnamed box office clerk at an adult content movie theater. Their relationship blossomed, and they got married in 1976. The union produced a son, Raphael De Niro. However, Diane Abbott had a daughter, Drina, in her past relationship before she met Robert, and after their marriage, Robert adopted Drina and took care of her as his own. Finally, the Playboy was off the market, people would have thought, but that was far from the truth. Everyone was in for a surprise, as author Sean revealed in his book that Robert was seeing other women throughout his marriage with Abbott. The late actors John Belushi and Martin Scorsese said that Diane spent most of her time in their marital home, while Robert split his time between New York and California. Despite being married, Robert still had an eye for other women. He was reportedly driving his convertible car in Los Angeles in the 80s when he saw a beautiful woman in the car next to him. Her name was Helena Springs, an aspiring singer. Helena said, "I'd go fast, he'd go fast. I'd slow down, he'd slow down." Finally, Robert put his hands in the front like someone praying and said, "Pull down." He might have been mesmerized by her beauty. Helena stopped and Robert invited her to lunch. According to author Sean, they went out to eat. And despite Robert being a married man, he and Helena made out on the same day. Afterward, they engaged in a non-exclusive relationship. And in the long run, Helena became pregnant. Without notifying Robert, she allegedly decided not to keep the baby. They continued their escapades, and she became pregnant again in late 1981. When she told Robert about her plans to keep the baby, Robert reportedly flew in with rage. She claimed Robert intimated her to get rid of the baby. He was probably trying to save his home, you know. Helena, who was not moved by his threats, went ahead and gave birth to the baby in 1982 and named her Nina. However, Robert's affair with musician Helena Springs was a secret one, and it didn't come to light until later years when Springs took De Niro to court for the child support. All along, De Niro was allegedly led to believe he was the little girl's father. De Niro's attorney said the actor paid for the birth, and he testified that he saw Nina on 4 to 6 occasions, all while under the impression that the child was his. DNA testing later proved Springs' daughter, Nina, did not belong to De Niro. Even after this surfaced, Springs still argued that because De Niro had treated Nina as a daughter, he still owed child support. The case later fell in favor of De Niro, as the judge ultimately dismissed the claims and ruled that De Niro had no obligation to pay child support. All these happened while De Niro was still married to Abbott. The marriage between the couple finally ended in divorce. The separation was long awaited. He began dating Tukey Smith in 1988. The couple kept significant details of their relationship private, including how they met. De Niro and Smith continued to be spotted together throughout the years, with Smith even hosting benefits at restaurants owned by De Niro. Their relationship was on and off, with the two allegedly splitting in 1994 before getting back together, per The New Yorker. The pair went on to learn they were expecting twins together via surrogate, welcoming their sons, Julian Henry and Aaron Kendrick, in October 1995. De Niro still dated supermodel Naomi Campbell at some point during the 1990s. Although they kept things extremely private, and not much is known about their romance, Campbell says De Niro taught her a fundamental life lesson. In one of her interviews with WSJ magazine, she said, "For me, privacy is important to know each other, and I always worry that my job will not allow that. But I have ways. I was taught that by Robert De Niro. Being alone doesn't mean you are lonely. I don't have time to be bored, and I don't have time to be lonely." His relationship with Campbell, like others, hit the rock, and they went their different ways, though they are still on good terms, as Campbell posted in one of her Instagram posts. Did this mean Robert finally retired from chasing women? Let's find out. Born on April 7, 1945, in Kilmichael, Mississippi, Grace Hightower was nurtured in a rural African-American neighborhood, and hers is the story of a woman with a humble beginning. Her parents, Evelyn and Henry Hightower, taught her strong values and spurred her to follow her dreams. Grace's formative years were characterized by simplicity, hard work, and a desire to help others. After high school, she relocated to New York City to pursue a profession in modeling and acting. She worked as a flight attendant and became a successful entrepreneur, philanthropist, and celebrity. As an American African philanthropist, socialist, and actress, Grace Hightower is a producer. She is popularly known for the movies Precious in 2009, Paperboy in 2012, and Unspoken, Diary of an Assassin in 2018. Knowing Robert De Niro was already a recognized and award-winning actor when he met Grace, who was still trying to start her life. One may be tempted to ask how a man like Robert De Niro met a woman like Grace Hightower. Is this the black woman he fell in love with and is now married to? We'll unveil the mystery soon. Grace and Robert first met at New York City's Mr. Chow restaurant in 1987. The unconventional meeting sparked a connection, but it took many years for their romance to flourish. 10 years after meeting, Grace and Robert reconnected at a dinner party. Their conversation progressed seamlessly this time, and they uncovered shared interests and views. Grace and Robert found comfort in each other's company as their relationship intensified. They shared a passion for art, music, and charity. As a part of her charity works, she launched Grace Hightower and Coffees of Rwanda in 2013, with the mission to improve the livelihood of Rwandans by marketing their products in the global market. The couple's age, background, and career variation established a strong and supportive fusion. After about 1 decade of meeting, the couple eventually tied the knot in June 1997 at their home at the Ulster County Farm near the Catskill Mountains in Marbletown, New York. The event, fondly called the Catskill Event, was an intimate affair with just 11 people. Among the guests were De Niro's actor pals, Harvey Keitel and Joe Pesci. One of the highlights of the event was the 5-course meal the guests were served. The meal featured wakame, lobster in rice paper, and poussin breast with cranberry quince stuff. The guests sure enjoyed the yummy meal. The atmosphere was a relaxed one as Pesci came prepared, cracking jokes and entertaining the guests until past midnight. Congratulations were in order as the couples were cheered to their new beginning together. They consummated their marriage, and it wasn't long before they were expecting their first child. In March 1998, the couple welcomed their first child, Elliot. However, it didn't mean they didn't experience challenges. Like every other couple, things weren't always rosy with them. The joy of this duo was about to be short-lived, one would have thought, when De Niro filed for a divorce less than 2 years into their marriage. At the time, a source close to De Niro told People, Robert was just not working hard enough at his marriage to Grace. Considering his history, you wouldn't agree less that everyone would want to point an accusing finger at Robert. While the two could amicably co-parent for some time, in 2001, a custody battle began, just as expected, right? In court, Hightower accused De Niro of getting intimate with another woman. At the same time, De Niro, in defense, claimed that Hightower had a temper and once fractured one of his ribs in a skirmish. a judge ordered the pair to meet with a mental health expert to help resolve the custody battle. As if nature was using this event to buy time for the coming together of this couple, ultimately, their divorce was never finalized, and by 2004, they appeared to have moved past their troubles. In 2004, Robert De Niro and Grace Hightower renewed their vows to one another at their upstate home. Among the guests were their famous friends, Scorsese, Meryl Streep, Ben Stiller, and Tom Brokaw. In addition to their friends, 2 judges officiated as guests who gathered around an indoor pool to watch the pair recommit to each other. De Niro jokingly said of the officiants, "They can make sure this one sticks." Things went smoothly for the duo for the next few years. They often appeared at red carpet events together. By then, Hightower had become De Niro's publicist, helping run red carpet interference for her husband. Then, in December 2011, De Niro and Hightower announced they had welcomed their second child via surrogate, a little girl named Helen Grace. Like other bundles of joy, the child brought so much joy to the couple. De Niro, in his words, "Sometimes you're the last person they want to deal with. It's like when you walk your kids to school and they get older, and they don't want to hold your hand or kiss you goodbye," he said, adding that he was thrilled to start the process again with his daughter. It's good stuff now. Even as a wife and a mother of 2, Grace was still dedicated to charity. As part of her charity works, she launched Grace Hightower and Coffees of Rwanda in 2013 with the mission to improve the livelihood of Rwandans by marketing their products in the global market. The couple seemed to be doing well until they announced in November 2018 that they were separating, and this time, it was for good. The last time the couples were seen together publicly was when they attended the 72nd Annual Tony Awards in New York City. With the news of their separation, an insider said, "Sometimes things don't work out how you hope or want them to." However, some believe that their divorce was unavoidable because throughout their marriage, there were several signs that the pair would not last. For instance, an ex-housekeeper of the couple, who was once accused of stealing a pair of earrings from Hightower, while speaking with the cops via New York's Post, claimed that Hightower was even mean to their children. She said, "She is mean. If Mr. De Niro knew how badly she treats her kids, he would leave her." Barely a month after the divorce, in December 2018, an insider shared with Radar Online that Hightower was very controlling. De Niro reportedly had to call her twice daily while on the set of productions, and was even barred from seeing his friends, including Martin Scorsese and Keith Richards. This likely contributed to his decision to end the relationship, as every man cherishes freedom and respect. In February 2017, an insider to Page 6 also reported that Robert De Niro was caught yelling at Hightower for running through his money inside a Manhattan bar. Robert had earlier invested in Grace Hightower's Coffees of Rwanda brand, now known as Coffee of Grace. While the brewing company had seen some success by landing in several locations, such as the Ace Hotel and Salvation Burger, De Niro was reportedly unhappy with the amount of money being pumped into the venture. With all these allegations, with the accusing finger pointing at the Grace this time, unlike the first, the union of the 2 lovebirds eventually went down the drain. And then the court battle had to begin for the second time. Their court battle dragged on for years, and in April 2021, De Niro shared he was forced to take on any movie job he could get to afford his tax bill and Hightower's lifestyle. His attorneys even alleged the entrepreneur dropped $1.2 million on a diamond ring in 2019. The two sprawled over his fortune, though a judge ruled she could not take half of his income, as requested. Ultimately, Hightower walked away with $1 million annually, half the proceeds from selling their $2 million home, and a $6 million lump sum to purchase a new place. As some people say, the inevitable eventually happened as Grace and Robert finally settled for co-parenting instead of remaining as a couple. "Grace and I have 2 beautiful children together. We are entering a transition period in our relationship, which is a difficult but constructive process," he said. "I honor Grace as a wonderful mother and ask for privacy and respect from all as we develop our roles as partners in parenting." Those were the exact words of De Niro when he made the reports of their divorce official. How about their children? How did the divorce affect them? And what do their lives look like now? We'll find out soon. De Niro was the first to move on. The same year the divorce was finalized, he began dating martial arts instructor Tiffany Chen in 2021, and they welcomed a baby girl together in May 2023, making him a parent of 7 at age 79. Elliot De Niro, born on the 18th of March, 1998, has largely stayed out of the public eye, maintaining a private life. Elliot has autism, diagnosed in 2016, and his parents have been very supportive of him. Robert De Niro has spoken publicly about his son's condition, advocating for more awareness and understanding of autism. This condition affects how a person thinks, interacts, and experiences the world around them. People with autism often have challenges with communication, social interactions, and repetitive behaviors. They may find it hard to understand body language and tone of voice, prefer to be alone, and follow strict routines. However, they can also have interests and talents, particularly in mathematics, music, and technology. The condition affects everyone differently. Some people may need significant support daily, while others can live relatively independently. Many individuals with autism are sensitive to sensory inputs, such as bright lights and loud noises. Early diagnosis and intervention can help individuals with autism develop skills and strategies to navigate their world. You can imagine how challenging living with this condition is for Elliot. However, like his father, Robert, Elliot De Niro seemed to swim past his deficiency by pursuing his passion. One of the things the 26-year-old Elliot is passionate about is playing tennis. In 2018, he was featured in ESPN's Special Olympics 50 Game Changers series in honor of the 50th anniversary of the Special Olympics. Growing up in a household filled with creativity and artistic expression, Elliot was exposed to film and theater from a young age. His parents' influence significantly shaped his interests and aspirations, and Elliot has made headlines not just because of his lineage, but also because of his unique talents and personal endeavors. Elliot is both an actor and a musician, and he's making great waves, making his name register in the hearts of his viewers just as his father. He is also committed to community social responsibility. He actively participates in various social causes and advocates for mental health awareness. This reflects the values instilled in him by his parents. Helen Grace De Niro, like her half-siblings, twins Aaron and Julian, was conceived in vitro and born via surrogate on the 23rd of December, 2011. She is still quite young at 12, and her life is mostly kept out of the spotlight. Following her parents' divorce in 2018, Helen Grace lives with her mother, Grace Hightower. Despite the separation, Robert and Grace are committed to co-parenting and ensuring that Helen Grace has a stable and nurturing environment. She is often seen with her father playing and being the little girl she is. Even after their divorce, Robert De Niro and Grace Hightower have worked hard to provide their children with a balanced and supportive upbringing. They prioritize their children's well-being and maintain a positive co-parenting relationship. While we reflect on Robert De Niro and Grace Hightower's phenomenal journey, we remember that love can win overall. Despite not being together as a couple, they have mutual respect and understanding. Life is full of ups and downs, but in the end, one must keep moving, taking each day at a time. What are your thoughts about this? Let us know in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel. You can also click the other links on your screen to explore more videos.